it's about the grind. Yeah, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. What's up, Nasties? Happy Monday. How you doing? It's 104. This is EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk, coming to you live from the William Huff Studios here in the west side of the city. No walk today. Something came up. He'll be back tomorrow. So it's just Coob and I. For the next 2 hours, then Reid Wilkins and J-Man will take over. Take you right up until 6. As we kick off another week here in the summer. Weather, once again, is meh. Man, this summer, we need some good days. At least the weekend was pretty nice. Saturday was awesome. Pretty hot. What you get up to? Were you at that Elks game last night? Oh, boy. We'll break it down for sure. It's still a little tough for me. Know a lot of people there, but there's no sugarcoating that one. That was a tough watch. Where do they go? I mean... I don't know if the bye week's the best thing, not the worst thing. Somewhere in between. But we'll get to all of it. Reid Wilkins will join me at 1:20 right here in studio. We'll break down the Elks game. We'll hear from Kris Knoblauch as the Edmonton Oilers made some news today, hiring 3 new coaches. We'll get to that as well. In the second hour, Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press as we go around the CFL. Just an interesting weekend. I mean, Kenny Lawler again, what a grab. The game that was delayed and pushed to the next day. Just crazy stuff, but the CFL never disappoints. And we want you to take part in this as well. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Slam that thumbs up. Hit us up on the River Cree inbox 780-218-9999. And you guys know this. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Where do we begin here with this? We'll get to the Oiler news. Of course, they've hired the 3 new coaches. They are... Paul McFarland, Peter Aubry, and Conor Allen. Also announced Paul Coffey will return to his role as a special advisor to ownership and hockey operations. It's a cushy job, and no contract extension was offered to goaltending coach, of course, Dustin Schwartz. McFarland, he's going to be. I think he's going to be on one of the shows tomorrow. I think they're just waiting to confirm that as well. But yeah, exciting times. We knew there's changes coming. We'll get to their titles. We'll get to their past, their history, and we'll have Aubry on tomorrow. We were going to get him on today, but I wanted Joaquin to be here for that. So we'll wait till tomorrow. It's going to be fun. 1:20. Make sure to tune in. The Oilers' newest goaltending coach. in no other cities, the spotlight on the goaltending coach like here in Edmonton. So, yeah. It's going to be an interesting conversation for sure. We're going to hear from Mark Killam. He was very short in his presser. I know a lot of the media didn't make it in time down there because you have to go down the same side where all the kids that get to go on the field with their families. So it takes some time. Maybe they got to go down there a little bit earlier.
I did. I was the first guy in there.
Oh, see, look. Yeah. There you have it. There you have it. So I knew a few media members missed Coach Killam, but... yeah, you know what, Coob? If you have him teed up, let's hear from Coach Killam, then we'll get into all the details of what we saw down at Commonwealth Stadium.
All right, Coach, tough one. Tell us about it a little bit.
Yeah, just got completely beat in all 3 phases, got out-coached.
When you look at, there's a lot of injuries on that defensive side. I know you're not an excuse guy, but does that play a role in this?
I mean, I felt like we had enough bodies to cover it. I mean, you know, the thing about injuries is they're going to happen. And, you know, if I go in for somebody that's injured, 1, I have to know what I'm doing. But 2, that's my opportunity. Mm-hmm. And that's what we all want is an opportunity. So that wasn't why we lost.
Okay, on the offensive side of the ball, not really a whole lot of luck moving the ball today. Was there something that you saw that was happening out there that just wasn't clicking?
I'll just have to look at the tape on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any update on any of the injuries?
Nope. I don't have an update on that.
None yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Changing with Tre struggling and the offense kind of struggling there. Cody comes in. Last week we had the change that was kind of planned. This week wasn't planned and then just came in just at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to roll him. I said it on the headset at the start of the fourth quarter, but then we couldn't get off the field on D. I don't know. I think they went on a 6-7 minute drive. So, I mean, it looked like cleanup time. I was trying to give them a little bit more time just to try to give us a spark.
Okay.
That was Mark Killam. Short and sweet. I mean, said he had to watch the film. No updates on the injuries. And hey, all class in every department. And he included his coaching staff as well. So, yeah, not very good. Let's get to inside the numbers for Play Alberta. Play Alberta is your home for online gaming excitement, featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery instants, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. And, ooh, boy. Let's start with the good. Wasn't a lot. Thought the dinosaurs dancing and playing football was pretty funny, and they showed clips on halftime. I remember last year I was there for that, and it was pretty funny. So we'll give tailgate looked amazing once again. Our boys were there. A lot of Nazis, seen a lot of pictures, so that's always a positive. One of the best tailgates in the CFL for sure. After a 32-14 loss to the BC Lions, which the score flatters the Elks for sure. Just an awful, awful game. And I've seen my share of awful Elks games, and I think you got to put this one right up there. I think the good, Curly Gittins Jr. touchdown. I like that he went and got it, and you know, the game was over, and I love seeing that fight in players, how pumped he was. Show some emotion, right? But that's about it. I mean, the interception by Big Jake Serezna. That was great to see. It was the first one of the year. He fumbled it, but Tre Ford was there to scoop it up. So kudos to Jake, one of the good guys in this league, and unfortunately, he got hurt. So, all right, yeah, no worries. He's got people walking through. It's all good. The bad. Where do we want to start with the bad here? I mean, let's start with the offense, I guess. At the half, 2 for 8, 28 yards, 1 interception. That was a good drive, right? Tre had broke 2 runs for first downs, and then he went deep, and it looked like he had Dunbar. Ball kind of hung up there a bit. And then Gary Peters makes a good battle on the ball. They battle for it, and he ends up coming up with it. Overall for Tre, 4 of 12, 34 yards. No bueno. Jordan McSimic, you know, when he was hired, we talked about it a lot. You know, he does a lot of good things with the offense. But the one thing we noticed when he was in BC, he goes away from the run game pretty quick and early. I don't know why they abandoned the run game yesterday. Justin Rankin and Javon Lee combined for 5 carries for 6 yards. I mean, maybe he was seeing something. I don't know. Like, you can't abandon the run that early. And when you have, like, for me, Justin Rankin's a stud in the backfield. For me, to not give that man the ball at least 10 times a game, holy smokes. I don't know why. You're putting more pressure on Tre to continue to make throws, and, you know, things weren't right. Things were off. Run the damn ball. Javon Leake's coming off one of his best games as an Elk. Run the ball. 5 carries. Tre had 2 really good carries. They were like escape carries, right? Like the pocket kind of broke and he got out, but it was exciting. It was fun. He got first downs. Too many 2-and-outs, of course. They couldn't stay on the field. And we'll pose this question, I think, it's all bye week, leading into the next game in Regina. What now? Is it Tre Ford or Cody Fajardo? We want to hear from you. Let us know in the Nats chat, River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. I will say for myself, I think you go back to Tre. I think you got to give him another one here. And on the positive side, and I'm reaching, he's been really good in Regina. He's 2-0. And he's played extremely well when he's been there. So I don't know which way Killam's going to go. He's going to assess everything. And we'll see. But for you, Is it time to go to the veteran Cody Fajardo? Or is it, do you still want them to stick with Tre? Because Tre's coming off. That's the frustrating part. Like against Ottawa, we saw a lot of good things, man. A lot of good things. So pretty stoked going into this game being like, maybe they can get it done and go on a 2-game win streak. But BC had other plans. And then, listen, sometimes you got to give credit to the other team as well. The other team was fantastic. Offensively, running the ball, throwing the ball, protection-wise. Defensively, they're fantastic. Special teams was good. So many good things. And then it just all went to loss last night because that game was just not good. Defensively, I'm shocked how much they're struggling. I am. And I saw all the offseason transactions they made. I know Robbie Smith's out now. I know that. But Metier, another year of Nick Anderson, Tyrell Ford, Colby Williams, Brinkman, Barlow, and it's just not working. I still think those guys are all extremely talented. I think this defense can be so much better. But they can't get a stop. They were torched on Sunday. No pressure. Tackling has to improve. I think Dusty said it on the morning show. Use your arms, guys. Stop just throwing your body and missing. Like, it's got to improve. The turnovers, they're the last place in forcing turnovers. They got one yesterday. Plus, key injuries, man. You lose Royce Metier, your safety. You lose Devoured Byman, you start in corner. And you lose probably your heart and soul, one of the guys, in Jake Serezda. And he said at halftime with Tommy, my knee popped out. And they just popped it back in, and then you saw, I think it was short yardage. He just went forward, and he couldn't get up after, and carted off. It was tough to see because Jake's an awesome guy. He's a great teammate. He's great in the community, and it's hard to see players go down like that. But now, add that to Robbie Smith. Some people are going to have to step up here. Kenny Logan Jr., who came in for Metier, he had 12 tackles, 10 of those defensively. But when your safety leads you in tackles, you probably did not have a good night. But kudos to him. Every time he made a tackle, he popped up and kind of celebrated and he showed some passion, showed some energy. The tough one was the punt return. Remember that? Or the kickoff return? Voided because Gary Peters, stupid penalty, veteran guy. And then with just over a minute, they still march down and get the touchdown. That's when I was kind of like, this might not be their day. Because even until then, the game, it wasn't out of reach. It wasn't but they couldn't get anything going offensively. Defensively, they couldn't get off the field. I was talking to a few other media members last night after the game, just texting back and forth. And a few had said far too casual by this team. And that's concerning. I know Jay was heated last night on the post-game show with Matthew Wanek about the give a crap meter. And listen, I've been guilty of that too, especially with the Oilers. But if I know a lot of these guys, I know they care. But there's one thing that irks me, and it irked me when I was with the team. It'll irk me now that I'm in radio and I'm out of this business and just watching games. It's going to irk me. When you're getting pumped like the Elks were, and I see a player on the bench 5 minutes ago in the fourth quarter having a good chuckle, why? What are you chuckling about? I'm not asking you to cry. At least show that you're a little embarrassed. I don't know, pissed off. You can't be laughing. Sorry, but you can't. That's a no-no. This is where it gets ugly, Coob. The BC Lions had 42-54 in time of possession. From John Hodge, unofficially, that is the second highest total since the CFL started tracking this statistic in 1996. 42-54. Sure, we can be hard on the defense. But, no defense is going to be good when you're on the field that much. And it coincides with the offense. Net offense, 519 to 160. 30 carries for James Butler. And this is from Matty Baker, Matty Ice, media guy for the BC Lions. 30 carries for Butler is the second most in one game in Lions history behind Jim Evison, 32 in August 1968. again, I'm a little biased because I was there. I worked with the team, and I know a lot of these guys. But I like I said, I can't sugarcoat this one. It was all kinds of ugly. Big you start Ford. But if he's playing like he did versus BC, you go to Cody. Bronco Nick. McSimic was brutal yesterday. Big Uke, short leash, but you still start Ford. Shelley, this defense sucks. Rip City Step, kicker and punter have been good, though. Yeah, they, honestly, like Grace has been excellent. Vincent Blanchard, after a tough opening game, has been awesome. So there is some positive, sure, but for a fan base that's just wants wins, wants to fight for a playoff spot, wants a home playoff game, it's looking once again tough. And when you bring in this many players, remember the Elks won the offseason, we were all saying that, but I think Iwanek and I always had this conversation. It might take them a bit. Might take them a bit to gel into the... I look at Calgary, though. They went into Winnipeg. No, sorry. They went into Regina and smacked them around. They were 4-0. They have 11 new starters on defense, new quarterback, bunch of new coaches. So we can't use that as an excuse. I think the Elks have far too much talent to be 1-4 right now. I do. Defensively, you need more from Brinkman. Where has he been? Now you got injuries to some big dogs. Barlow, you need more. Kongbo. Nick Anderson's all over the field. Like he is. Like every time there's a tackle, he's there. It's either him or he's the second guy in. So, oh boy. Bye week for the Elks. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I really don't. Because I think as a player, you want to get back out there as quick as you can. Coaches probably like it more right now because they're going to look at all the film and they might have to make some tough choices, some tough decisions. And then they return on July 25th in Saskatchewan. It's not getting easier. It's tough. It's tough. The injuries are piling up now. And I see my people, Cheese and Lisa on TV, and they get a lot of screen time. I love seeing them because they're awesome. They're the best. But when you're seeing them on TV nonstop, it's usually not a good thing because it means the injuries are just piling up. We'll find out what the status of Jake Zorez now. That's the big one to me. Royce Metier as well. I think they have enough talent to cover for Bynum, regardless of what the injury is. Metier is a big loss. Nothing against Kenny Logan Jr., but Metier is a vet. Plays the game the right way. Yeah, Bryce the Sparky. Hernan, they need some tequila in them. A little fight. Oh, boy. No tequila. No tequila. But, I mean, just your thoughts. See, are you going to Tre or are you sticking with Tre or are you going to Cody? How concerned are you about the injuries? And how concerned are you about 1-4? Because the West is running away. Hamilton's rolling now. Toronto eventually is going to get Chad Kelly back. They'll be better. Montreal's getting Davis back. They're going to get hot again. In Ottawa, it's Ottawa-Edmonton. And like I said, the West is running away, man. Everybody's up 2 games already. But if there's a glimmer of hope, Tre Ford's really good in Regina. I know people want to tell me to shut up right now. Shut up, Hernan. That's fair. Completely fair. But you know what's going to be awesome? Coming up next, the one and only Reid Wilkins will join me. I'm pretty sure he's fired up. He was fired up on the oil stream. You guys were getting him upset talking about the power play. We'll get him fired up too talking about the Elks. That's all coming up here on the EST Afternoons. Hit us up, Nasty Chat. Slam that thumbs up. Text us, River Korean Box 780-218-9999. We're back with the one and only Reid Wilkins. Next, here's Coop, Sports Update.
The Oilers shake things up, adding Paul McFarland, Peter Aubry, and Conor Allen to their coaching staff. McFarland takes The assistant coaching position from Paul Coffey shifts back to an advisor role under management and ownership. Aubry taking over as the goalie coach, with the team letting go Dustin Schwartz while Allen steps in to become a skills coach. And from Winnipeg, the Jets have signed restricted free agent Morgan Barron to a 2-year deal worth a total of nearly $4 million. He played 74 regular season games while appearing in 13 playoff games, getting 2 assists in the postseason. On the court, NBA Summer League action sees Miami and Boston tip off. Phoenix and Sacramento go toe-to-toe, while the Mavs and Hornets battle, having 7 games around the league. Atlanta and Houston kick things off at 2:30. WNBA action sees the Lynx facing the Sky, while the Mercury play the Valkyries. Minnesota and Chicago begin the night at 6 o'clock. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated since 1993, they're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. They're the experts you need to know, and an expert you need to know. Reid Wilkins up next here on the show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
The commissioner of the Canadian Football League, Stuart Johnson.
One of the surprises, or one of the a newness for me, tailgating varied from market to market, but certainly was a focus of each market. When I walked around in Edmonton and got a taste of, by taste I mean the literal taste of that I don't know if I've eaten that much meat that quickly in my life.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Ford Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
The Canadian Brewhouse is turning up the flavor this summer with our new summer feature menu. Try our jerk chicken skewers, Cajun shrimp tostadas, and street corn salsa. Bold bites made for patio season. Get them while it's hot. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
.127, welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Keep slamming that thumbs up. Let's go. I'm joined by Reid Wilkins, host of The Reid Wilkins Show with J Mill. They got a fun show today. Fun week. Kind of excited for one of your segments that you're going to do all week. But Reid, how was your weekend, man?
Well, it was quite good, Hernan. Thank you for asking. How was yours?
Good. Did you watch Superman?
No. Did you?
No.
I
kind of want to.
Try to go this week, maybe.
Yeah.
Or on the weekend.
What are you hearing?
It seems like it's pretty good. One of my buddies saw it, and he said it was quite good.
Okay. I'm intrigued to see what Gager says.
Oh, did he go?
Yeah, he went on Friday.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Okay.
Yeah. Reid, let's get to it, man. You were at Commonwealth Stadium last night. I got to read you this text. The baby's got more yards than the Elks running back.
Okay, first of all, that baby race was an abomination.
Was it?
Now, people know I'm not into that type of stuff. The dinosaurs running around were somewhat humorous. The people in the dinosaur costumes. The baby race, I don't mind the idea of. They had to go almost the entire end zone.
Yeah.
Don't make them go 18 yards. They're babies. They should be going like
Make
six.
it, yeah.
Make it like 6 yards. It took forever, and they're going off course. They're babies. They don't know what's happening. Don't make them go 18 yards to get to the other parent. Okay, Elks promotional people, I respect you. I'm sure you know your job very, very well, but you got to adjust the baby race.
Make it shorter.
Yeah, because they don't go fast. Even the fastest baby isn't going to be fast.
Yes, it still makes me laugh. All right, Reid. I want to ask you a question before we get into the details of this game. I was talking with a colleague yesterday that works in the media, and he asked me, "Do you think Killam is in over his head?" My answer was strictly, "I do not. I don't." But I said, "Did he maybe make a mistake with some of the staff being so raw and inexperienced?" Because I look at it this way: if Killam needs, I don't know if advice is the right word or just needs to talk to someone, there's no one on the staff that's been a head coach.
True. I never thought of it that way. I don't think Killam is in over his head because he's been in the league for so long.
Yeah, that's why I said no.
I think that the roster is not good enough.
Okay.
I think that, yes, I'd like to see some different play calling. I think Sherritt is still figuring things out on defense, but they're not really good at anything at this point.
But isn't it weird though, Reid? Because when the Elks were signing Robbie Smith, Jake Sarez, now Brinkman, Manchier, all quality football players from winning programs. So they come here, and I just don't buy that they just forgot how to play football. That's why I'm looking more at maybe it's a coaching thing.
Yeah, well, I understand that. I mean, especially that D line was supposed to be much better.
Yeah.
But they haven't really been noticeable. I mean, Serezna's had a generally good season, I think, until he got hurt. I don't know. A lot of things are obviously very deficient. Coaching can certainly make a difference in football because of the game planning and understanding what the other team is doing. But, I mean, we weren't really talking about it until after yesterday's game.
Yeah.
I mean, certain little things and commitment to running the ball. I just look at it and I don't know, like, was it bad coaching that they got dominated at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball?
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Was it bad coaching that Tre Ford had 3 deep shots that were available and made inadequate throws on all 3 of them? I think Rourke is I really think Rourke is an outstanding quarterback.
Oh, he's amazing.
So I know he hasn't picked everybody apart, but I think he will continue to thrive as the season goes on. I think the coaching needs to be better when they're 1-4 and that far out of it as they were yesterday. Then yes, you have to critique the coaching, but I just wonder if the talent that they've procured is good enough. Maybe to be a competitive CFL team.
Maybe they overvalued some of these guys.
Maybe, yeah.
Like I look like at a Brinkman, and I don't think I've noticed him outside of taking penalties. Like, honest.
No, you haven't really noticed anybody on the D line except Serezna.
Yeah. He got their first pick yesterday.
Yeah, and he's made plays in other games.
And carted off, which is not a good thing. I mean, there's nothing positive about yesterday's game, Reid, but are you more concerned with the offense or the defense? It's tough.
That's a good question.
You can say they're equal.
Well, no, I'll try to give you an answer. I'm going to say the offense.
Okay.
Because, and I'm not trying to say the defense is doing a good job, but it's at some point, I mean, look, points will be scored. And sometimes there will be high-scoring games.
It's a CFL.
Yeah. So you need your offense to have a response. You need your offense to not go 2 and out. You need your offense to threaten the other team and put them on their heels, or if you don't score, at least get field position back or use some clock.
Yeah.
I mean, the Elks had the ball 17 minutes yesterday.
That's great.
That's almost unheard of. So I think I'm going to say the offense, because there's been a couple games where the running game has been non-existent. Now, some of that is on the coordinator, for sure, if you want to talk about coaching.
Yeah.
But I think, there are once again serious questions about Tre Ford's ability. Okay. So if you don't have a quarterback, you really have nothing. So I'm going to say the offense, even though the defense hasn't looked great in a couple games. The defense did okay against Winnipeg most of the game.
Up to the fourth.
Yeah. The defense did decent against Ottawa most of the game. But against the higher tier teams, Montreal and BC, they didn't do as well.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say the offense, just because there's no threat. That was a Cornelius McAdoo level game offensively last night.
Yeah, that's a good way.
It was terrible. Like, you never, after the first drive, you never felt like they were going to move the ball or come up with a play or get a 40-yarder and at least get into field goal range. So it was extremely discouraging. And it reminded me, of a couple of years ago, where if you said, well, if you're playing the Elks, well, how do you game plan for the Elks? It's like, don't worry about it. Game plan for the team that you're playing next, because if you can prepare for that team, you're more than prepared for the Elks.
Wow.
Like, that's what it felt like.
I mean, Rankin and Lee can combine for 5 carries. There's no need to go away from that run game. Listen, there's going to be okay, I'll ask you this. Bye week for the Elks. Good or bad? I said probably bad for the players because they want to get right back at it.
Yeah.
Probably good for the coaches because they can watch a lot more film and make some tough decisions if there need to be tough decisions.
Well, maybe
made.
for the health of some guys. I don't think they've said how bad it is with Serezna.
Yeah, no, not yet.
But I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, though, how it's been since 2021. They're bad when it's a short week. They're bad when they have rest. They're bad at home. They're bad on the road. I mean, does it matter at this point?
Yeah, I guess.
It's
because they already had an early bye.
I guess maybe and they've already had a bye, and they lost the game coming out of that bye, right? So I don't know if it really matters. I guess, to be somewhat optimistic, maybe it can help the coaches look at some tape and give them some more time to devise something that they think might work. Maybe it gives them more time to come to a decision about who the quarterback is going to be next game. But I just think when you're this poor, does it matter how many days off, where the game is, who your opponent is? You're losing to almost everybody, and they have for about 4 years, and really almost 6 now if you go back to the middle of 2018, which was a totally different regime too.
So for you, the excuses are out the window. Just win.
Yeah, just
short
win.
week,
Again,
long
prove
week.
you can win.
Yeah,
prove you can do something fundamentally to the game of football. Prove that you can challenge the other opponent and make it difficult on them. I mean, I guess they made it difficult on Winnipeg. To be fair,
yeah,
wasn't it tied after 3 quarters? They responded in the third after Winnipeg took control. They made the Bombers earn that game. But they were clearly outclassed by BC and Montreal, and they beat Ottawa, who's the other bad team in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Toronto's going to wind up being bad too, but we'll see.
For you, are you going with Tre into Sask? Are you giving him one more look, or are you making the move to the veteran Cody Fajardo?
I'd probably put Fajardo in at this point.
Okay.
Though I know that might be tough to do, given what they're paying for it and the hopes for him. But I mean, this is already on the verge of being a lost season. This is already on the verge of after the middle of August. Who cares how they do? I mean, so they're 1-4. So that's an improvement on usually starting 0-5.
Yeah.
The last few years.
Because the West is running away.
And think about this. To make the playoffs in the CFL, you probably have to win 8 games. I think Calgary got in a couple years ago with 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah.
Which was unusual. So usually to get third or to get a crossover, you have to get to 8 wins. So ask yourself this. Can the Elks go 7-6 in their final 13 games?
Off what we've seen, no.
No, I mean, unless they played Ottawa all the time. I mean, against whom would the Elks be favored? Maybe the Red Blacks. So the next time they play Ottawa, it's going to be in Ottawa.
Okay, well, so the Riders in Sask, okay? Tough place to play, but the Elks have had some success there.
Sure.
Then they get the Ticats at home, and then the Alouettes on the road.
Okay, so to me, the most likely win in that game would be Hamilton.
Yeah.
Though Bo Levi and Lawler are looking great, but they've also shown they're a little inconsistent.
Yeah,
I mean, they didn't look great a lot against Ottawa.
Yeah, because then you get Toronto, which will probably have Chad Kelly back by then. Then you go into Ottawa, where the Elks haven't had a lot of success lately.
Right.
And then it's the Labor Day back-to-back, and the way Calgary's looking.
And this is the thing, the Elks don't look, after yesterday's game, they don't look, they're just a step away, or there were 2 plays.
No.
Maybe after the Winnipeg loss, maybe you could say that.
Yeah.
You know what, there's 2 or 3 plays, and that's why they didn't win. But yesterday, I mean, it was the majority of the game, just completely outclassed. I mean, they got a break for their first touchdown. I mean, here's the sad thing, Hernan, they easily could have been shut out yesterday.
Yeah.
If anything, what did it end up? 32-14?
Yeah.
I mean, you stop looking at the scoreboard after a while because BC's so in control. And I feel BC could have got to any target they wanted. If BC was going to say, hey, you know what, we want to score 55 today, they just would have started running patterns to get 16 yards instead of 6. You know?
Yeah. And they ran the ball a lot. They ran the ball 30 times. 30 times.
Yeah, and they were getting 5 yards a carry automatically. Like, what's the kid's name? Butler? Like, he was getting 5 yards on most plays before he was touched. Certainly 4. So it was bad yesterday. Now,
5.7 average.
Maybe that was the low end for the Elks. Maybe they're a below average or average team that had a bad day. But it's a reasonable question to ask. Like, maybe that was them yesterday. Maybe it wasn't the effort. Maybe it wasn't the coaching. Maybe that's just them. Maybe that's who they are, and that's discouraging to think about because this is what they have 19 wins in the last 4 1/3 years.
Yeah. And like I said off the hop, like I was with the team. I saw a lot of bad football games. Like I remember my first year we went into BC and I think they had a 40 burger on us at halftime. Yeah. But this one ranks right up there because like on the surface, you're like, 32-14, right? It's not that bad. But then you dig into the numbers and you're
the way it got there.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like it was 21-14 with 7 minutes left and they got a touchdown and a field goal or something like that. It was a blowout. Like, and at 10-0, you felt like, I don't think they can come back. And that's what it was like.
Then they get the break, they get the touchdown, right? And then, because even at halftime, I was like, you know what? I'll be honest. I thought at halftime they might make the move at quarterback.
Yeah.
I was intrigued to see what came out. And then I saw Tre go back in. I said, okay, keep rolling with him. Let's see if he can find it. And he seemed frustrated post game. Said he was going through his reads. He was seeing the guys, but he just wasn't connecting. He overthrow of Rankin.
Yeah,
I think he missed Mathis on one. So tough times for the green and gold.
Here's the thing. So you talk about the coaching and the play calling.
Yeah.
But what if he hits 2 of those 3 throws?
Maybe it's a different game.
Maybe they don't win, but they might get points off that drive and at least put some pressure on BC.
Yeah,
Dunbar dropped that one, the wide receiver screen on the first drive.
Yeah.
It looked like he had some room to run. So they're not executing.
It's just there's so much right now, Reid. Like we can pick apart so many different aspects of this team, and it's just you've been a season ticket holder. I worked for the team. I grew up a fan as well, and it's tough to see this. Man. I feel for the people there and the players because you got to find a way to win games.
Yeah.
Like, and like we went through the schedule, the next 5-6 games. I don't care. Just win a game. Like you find a way.
Yeah.
You were there with Winnipeg for 3 quarters. I mean, I don't know. This bye week's going to be interesting. I'm intrigued to see next week who's taking first team reps at Q. Because they might make the move to Fajor.
Well, at some point they're going to have to. I mean, and maybe he won't be much better. I don't know. I mean, it's not as if that the blocking by the O-line was exceptional either. I mean, he was on the run a lot.
Yeah.
Or
he took
was
some
pulling
hits.
the ball down.
Yeah,
and I think the BC secondary was covering very, very well. So, no, again, you could say that's coaching. Call plays that work. Find ways to get the ball out. Call something quick. But it's everything. I mean, nothing worked yesterday.
Yeah.
Nothing worked.
Yeah. Outside of that first drive up until the pick.
That first drive was encouraging. And then even the pick, it's like, okay, he took a shot, kind of like a punt where it wound up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you like turnovers, but, it was like a 40-yard pass. Didn't have much of a return. So at least you could say, okay, they moved the ball, they took a shot, they got BC deep. But then it was just, they did nothing after that.
Reid, Friday, you went to see your favorite band?
I sure did.
10 out of 10. How much fun did you have?
10. Absolute 10.
Yeah.
It was an evening of joy.
Nice.
Absolute joy. Just wonderful. I was there with one of my best friends.
Good crowd.
I'm not even sure how many people they had.
Yeah.
I've never been in that setting before. I mean, probably 10,000. I don't know if there would have been more than that. But I mean, if I would have been there by myself, I would have been happy.
Yeah.
If I would have been there with 1 million people, I would have been happy. It was just awesome. They sounded great. You know, I look up the set list going in, so I didn't have any surprises. And I mean, they certainly have a core group of 8 or 9 songs they pretty much have to play because that's what people know. But they sounded great. They're still going in their 60s.
Yeah.
You know, the one guitar player, Phil Collin, like does it shirtless with just a vest, and he's ripped, you know, and they're always putting him up on the big screen. You know, so you know they take it seriously. Like Leopards, like they take their job seriously, but they're also having fun.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why they're still going.
That's great.
After, well, I mean, the oldest song they did, was they did 3 songs from 1981. So they did 3 songs that are 44 years old.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, like. Go out there and have a blast. Why not?
And the old stuff's usually the best, right?
Yeah, well, they did side 1 of Hysteria minus 1 song.
Oh.
And so they did 6 songs off Hysteria. That's their big album. And they did 1 song off their most recent album that came out about 3 years ago.
Nice.
So, you know, they still mix that in. It was so much fun, Hernan. I was just smiling and dancing and singing along the entire time.
That's awesome. That's Reid Wilkins, 3 to 6 with Jay Millen. What do you got on the show?
We have our start of Ref Week.
Yeah.
Umpire Corey Davis is going to be on the show. We'll have Britton Gray, who covers the Rough Riders. And because I want to know more about the reaction to the air quality delay, too, and what this might mean for games going forward. And, lots of talks on the Elk, a lot of chat on the Elks. We have clips from Knoblauch on the coaching staff, and we'll see what other fun we get into.
Perfect. Reid, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Hernan.
Hey, that's Reid Wilkins. I'm Hernan Salas. We're back here on EST Afternoons after the break. Here's Coop.
The Oilers make a few changes, letting go goaltending coach Dustin Schwartz while shifting Paul Coffey from the bench to an advisory role under ownership and hockey operations. The coaches, 3 coaches were hired in the move. Paul McFarland, Conor Allen, and Peter Aubry joining the squad. McFarland as an assistant coach, leaving Calgary after serving as the head coach of the Hitmen last season. Aubry coming from the University of Nebraska, Omaha, to take the goaltending coaching position, while Allen checks in as the skills guy. Out east, Morgan Barron and the Jets avoid arbitration as he inks a 2-year extension worth a hair under $2 million this season. The 26-year-old had 15 points in 74 regular season games, 2 assists in 13 playoff games as well. Meanwhile, 7 games in the NBA Summer League, starting with the Hawks and Rockets duking it out. The Jazz and Spurs then have a date, while the Clippers and Lakers showdown to close things out. In the women's game, it's Phoenix visiting Golden State, while Minnie is on the road in Chi-Town for 6 o'clock tip-off. This sports update is brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. And the Elks host at their next home game August 2nd, the Ticats. They welcome them to town. That one gets going at 1 o'clock. You can get your tickets starting at $20. Buy tickets now at goelks.com. More with Hernan Salas on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Tre better be looking really good. If Tre loses that football game, it better be a great performance by Tre.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Cody has to start against Hamilton. It's just that simple. And it's, look, you're president of Tre Ford fan club, love the guy, but at some point you have to get the results. At some point you have to just start winning football games.
For sure.
And that's where we're at.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
River Creek Resort and Casino on K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
$1:49 as we roll along here on EST Afternoons on this Monday afternoon. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. We want to check out some shows. Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly on July 25th. And as we head into August, you can check out the Bay City Rollers August 7th. All you have to do is go to rivercreeresort.com or hit up the River Cree box office. Haven't talked to him yet. Coob, my man, how was your weekend? I heard you were golfing this morning.
I was, man.
Jeez.
Weekend was fantastic. I mean, yesterday was a great atmosphere down at the game. Nice to see over 17,500 people down there at Commonwealth for the match. Saw some great nasties before the Elks game as well. VIP golf show was great with Murray and Curtis, 8 to 10 a.m. Sundays here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Can get that on podcast as well. All things local golf. But yeah, the game was rough to watch. Ran into a lot of great people though. Jasmine, Belzy, couple buddies that I got there as well. Some nasties, combine crew. So it was a good vibe all the way around. People were enjoying the atmosphere, but less so what was happening on the field. And then, yeah, this morning, golf sucked almost as bad as the Elks. I played like the Elves. I played like the Elks.
Where'd you go? Golf.
Victoria. And speaking of Elves, there was an Atif thing, like something like that. I don't know. He referred to the Elks as, I don't know, the Elves of Santa or something. I don't know how he makes that connection in mid-July, but Dusty and Trev had some fun with that. I didn't do very good. If I was playing a full 18, it would have been phenomenal. I hit 72 through 9 holes. So the first 2 holes, I had a score of 18. I went 9-9 and then hit a par on hole 3. And then it was all downhill from there. That was the best moment of my day, but it was good catching up with one of my buddies. So
hey, good on you to go golfing Monday morning, man. Before work.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. I pulled like an Eric. Like I woke up at like 2:30 and you're still staring at the ceiling for like 3 hours and you're just like thinking of Oilers goaltending coaches or something like that. Yeah. No, it was I'm here. I'm alive and we're doing good. So
the baby race winner was the play of the game. I love how fired up Reid was about the baby race. A lot of people saying Superman's really good. That's good. Let's see here. Reid being fired up about the Oilers power play and baby races on the same day was not on my bingo card. I think they did it last year too. It was pretty good. But yeah, some tough times right now for the green and gold. They got to find a way to get a win here in these next 3 games. Riders, Ticats. Who are the other ones? Montreal. But yeah, they got to find a way. I do think they'll stick with Tre heading into Regina. Because up until last game, he was looking really good, very calm, confident in the pocket, behind center. So they are going to get David Beard back, so that's going to help. He dressed yesterday, but he didn't play. But we'll wait. We probably won't know until next week anyway on these injuries to Jake Serezna, Royce Metier, and Devoured Bynum. So there might be some moves on the defense for sure. Dash says, Hernan, how can the Elks secondary be this bad when they have Tre Ford cutting off a third of the field? Yeah, I mean, I thought the secondary would be much improved. Hopefully they can start figuring this out soon. They're far too talented. Far too talented. I still believe a lot of the guys they brought in are talented. They've had success in the CFL. They've been on winners. So I just don't believe that drop off can be that steep. I think coaching is a part of it. It has to be. I think it comes as a package, man. The players got to be better and the game's got to be called better. It's plain and simple. It can't just be players or coach. I think it's both in this situation because the defense is struggling bad. I think on TSN yesterday they're showing some stats and they're last in a lot of the category. That's got to improve. I didn't have the D-line sitting here with 3 sacks or 2, whatever it is, heading into week 7. 1 interception by a D lineman. Not a lot of forced turnovers. So they got to find a way. They got to find a way here. Mark Killam obviously was upset following the game, said he's got to look at a lot of things. It's a bye week for the players, but I'll tell you this firsthand, it's not for the coaches. I also want to say the Stamps Riders game that was postponed, I couldn't believe it was postponed until 10:45 local time. But people calling the league Bush League, like, what are you talking about? Like, they can't play. It's good that they have a protocol in. And because I think the Stamps had to go stay in dorms. Like, I was with the Elks and we were out east, Coop, and there was a big storm. And we thought we were going to have to stay. We thought we weren't going to be able to continue. So the game's delayed for about an hour and a half. We're all in the hallway. And usually the manager of football operations is the one that handles. Like, okay, I got to find somewhere to stay. Because you're checked out, man. Right? You're checked out of the hotels.
Yeah, people book them. I don't know. How are you going to have that much room, right?
So to people...
Depends on where you are.
Yeah, to people to say it's Bush League, no. That's just business. You get there the day before. You stay one night. You're out by 4 p.m. the next day. Not a lot of teams are able to... And you're finding beds, rooms, whatever, for 45 players, 14 to 18 coaches. Plus your support staff, your athletic therapist, your equipment guys.
So nearly, 80 people you would say? Like how many people?
Yeah, your video people. Like it's, it's about 60 to 70, 75. Okay. So
yeah,
you think because you're a pro team, you call up a hotel and they'll kick everybody out. And like, stop with the Bush League and the CFL narrative. Enough. I talked to Chris Jones one day. We were waiting for media and I said, how is it in the NFL? Because he went and he was in the NFL. Because after the game, Coob, like you pack up, you leave pretty quick. And he told me, he goes, it's even quicker in the NFL. Like they arrive the evening before the game, they have dinner, they have meetings, and they go to bed. The next day, they show up early to the stadium, and they're out there like that. So at least in the CFL, we have a little bit more time. So if you want to call anyone Bush League, call the NFL because they're in and out. Like, seriously, enough with that. And, hey, kudos to Jean. I know he's the media guy there. I don't know who their manager of football ops is, but I'm sure they had to work most of that night to find places for their organization to go and sleep and get some food and all that. And it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of stress. Believe me. When our guy was trying to do it, yeah, it wasn't easy. And when the game resumed, we all were like, thank goodness, because it was going to be tough. It was going to be tough. So let's give a little bit of credit. The CFL did what they're supposed to do. Okay. Can't play in that smoke. And at the end of the day, I think the Calgary St. Peter's staff did an awesome job finding them places where they can relax for the night. It's not easy, man. It's not easy. Smitty the Welder, are you drinking the Kool-Aid on the Elks, Hernan? I don't know. Have you been listening to the show? I was drinking the Kool-Aid at the start of the season. After the Ottawa win, too. I mean, read logical point. Like 7-6, you probably need 8 wins to sneak into the playoffs. Can the Elks go 7-6 in the remaining 13 games? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be tough. Hey, Coob, Matt at the Garrison says, I'll have to drop off some passes for you, Coob. Look at that.
Whoa,
look at that.
There we go.
Look at that. Just getting hookups after hookups after hookups. Now that you're a golf guy.
And if I keep talking about it, things will happen, right?
Yeah.
Can I have $1 million? Can I have $1 million? Yeah. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Boy. Portion of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. 2 new wing flavors just dropped at the Canadian Brew House for a limited time. 50-yard barbecue versus cherry cola. Which one scores big with your taste buds? Try them anytime or for 69 cents on Wing Wednesdays. The Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house. That does it for hour 1 here. In hour 2, up next, we'll hear from Kris Knoblauch. We'll talk about the Oilers' new coaches. And at 2:20, Dan Ralph as we recap Week 6 in the CFL. Keep the messages coming to the River Korean Box 780-218-9999 and hit us up on the Nasty Chat and slam that thumbs up. We're back after the break.
The Lock Shop.
Was not pleased with the Elks last night. That makes you and 17,000 other people who were there last night. Really disappointing. I mean, they got their win. They had the chance to make it 2 in a row at home. That one, unfortunately, was a mismatch. It was. Like, the final score was 32-14. And I would say that was extremely flattering for Edmonton for that game to be 32-14.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Get ready for the Ultimate Showdown, July 18th and 19th at Rad Torque Raceway's Western Cup. Catch the late models, hobby stocks, mini stocks, 600s, and the sprints in a spectacular display of speed, skill, and sideways racing action. The Western Cup, a true celebration of dirt track racing at its finest for all ages. July 18th and 19th at Rad Torque Raceway, just off Highway 2 on Highway 19 at the Edmonton International Airport. Tickets and info at radraceway.com.
Win a trip to Osheaga with the banquet and Aperol. We're sending one lucky guest to Montreal with flights, hotel, and 2 tickets to one of Canada's hottest music festivals. Enter by July 26. Details in store or on the banquet app. Get real. Play hard.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Paul McFarland, Peter Aubry, and Conor Allen have been added to the Oilers coaching staff, with Dustin Schwartz being let go as the team's goalie coach and assistant Paul Coffey becoming the special advisor for hockey operations and ownership. McFarland heads behind the bench after being the head coach of the Hitmen last season in the WHL, being an assistant for the Kraken for 3 seasons before that as well. Aubry takes over as the goaltending coach after spending 2 years with Nebraska Omaha, while Allen comes in as a skills coach. Elsewhere, the Islanders have signed Victor Eklund, this year's 16th overall selection, to hit an entry-level contract. The 18-year-old had 31 points, 19 goals, 12 assists in 42 games in Sweden last season. Elsewhere, 26-year-old Morgan Barron gets a 2-year contract extension with the Jets, avoiding arbitration, nearly $4 million over 2 seasons. In the association, it's Houston hosting Atlanta to kick a 7-game schedule off in the Summer League. After that, Chicago meets Indiana. Boston plays Miami before the Battle of LA goes down between the Lakers and the Clippers. And in the WNBA, it's 2 contests, Lynx and Sky, with the date before Golden State takes on Phoenix. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
2 here on EST Afternoons. How you doing? How you feeling after that Elks game last night? Looked like a good crowd, one of the best we've seen lately for sure. Tailgate was bumping. Yeah, but another tough start, 1-4. See what they can do. They're on the bye week. So the players, a lot of them head home. A lot of them just chill here. Coaches are probably going to be doing a lot of watching film and getting updates on their injured players and all that as they get set to take on the Riders next week. So it's a slow week. The MLB's in their All-Star break. We got some Oilers news we're going to get to right away here. But hey, you're listening. iHeart, TuneIn Radio app, edmontonsportstalk.com. If you're watching us, give us a thumbs up. Send us a message on the Nest Chat or the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Like Coop said in his update, the Oilers have added Paul McFarland, Peter Aubry, and Conor Allen to their coaching staff. They also announced Paul Coffey will return to his role as special advisor to ownership and hockey operations. And Dustin Schwartz was not offered a contract extension. And I know should never be happy when someone loses their job, but I know some other fans, this is all they've been wanting for a while, so we'll see what the new guy will join us tomorrow on EST Afternoons at 1:20. Peter Aubry, he was an associate coach at Nebraska Omaha. He's from Windsor, Ontario. He spent 8 seasons with the Blackhawks as a goaltending coach, as well as the goaltending coach for the team's AHL affiliate in Rockford. Mr. Conor Allen begins his first NHL season as a team skills coach. Chicago native and UMass graduate, spent last season with the U.S. national U17 team and has also recently worked in skill development role with the Sioux City Musketeers, along with the Prodigy Prospects. Following his retirement from professional hockey in 2021, the former defenseman and veteran of 284 AHL games transitioned to his new role, incorporating on-ice sessions and video analysis with a specific focus on skill acquisition and hockey IQ. And then Paul McFarland joins the Oilers after leading the WHL's Calgary Hitmen as head coach last season. He's also from Ontario, and he will make his return to the NHL after recently working as an assistant coach for the Seattle Kraken for 3 seasons from 2021 to 2024. So there you have it. We're going to run a Knoblauch now as he met with the media earlier this morning to discuss the changes, and he was asked about Ike Howard and all that other fun stuff. Here's a little bit of Kris Knoblauch with the media today following the addition of 3 new faces to his staff.
On the 3 new hires, and can you just tell us a little bit about him and maybe the process of bringing him on board?
Yeah, it was obviously a busy end of the year. We, play right to the Stanley Cup final, Game 6, and then you get into the NHL draft, preparing for that, and then the free agency, and then we tackled on the coaches, and obviously we weren't sure on how many coaches the changes we were going to make or had to make, and obviously the hire of Glenn Gulletson going to Dallas changed that a little bit, and there was that process. We wanted to wait till the process was done so we knew exactly what we were going to need and fill out our coaching staff, because I think everybody brings a little bit of different elements, and you don't want to have all the same guys, and you need so much energy and analytical thinkers or whatever it is. And I think if we were able to just sit back, wait a little bit while, and then after Glenn was hired, I guess we really moved on with that process on interviewing for all those spots.
Now, this is kind of when you came in here, the assistants were already in place. I guess how much did you have a play in bringing these assistants in? And I also wanted to ask you about maybe not having Paul Coffey behind the bench this year. How does that change the dynamic a little bit?
Well, yeah. Well, first of all, we'll talk about Paul, and I'm very fortunate to be working with him for the 2 years, and I inherited him, and it was a very nice inherit. I was happy to be working with him. And, you know, in the first year, and we weren't sure if he was coming back for the second year, but, you know, luckily for us, he did decide to come back. And, you know, throughout the year, we, you know, have a lot of conversations, and, you know, we added a lot to the coaching staff, and then, you know, got to the point where you're not sure when he was gonna step back and just have another role within the organization, or is what he was doing before. And, you know, it got to that point where, you know, that the change was going to happen. So, you know, I still feel that we'll still have conversations with Paul, and Paul will still give us his impact or his insight on how the team's playing and what we could be doing, which will be a great benefit for our coaching staff, especially with so many new guys coming in. And so now with Paul stepping away, you know, that role, that traditional defensive coach, Mark Stewart is going to slide into that position. So Mark's going to be in charge of the penalty kill and the defenseman. Those are his two main responsibilities. Paul McFarland, who's coming in, will be in charge of the power play, you know, among other things, but that'll be his primary responsibility. And then, of course, there's Peter Aubry, who's coming in as being our goaltending coach.
Thank you. We'll go to Bob Stauffer. Go ahead, Bob Stauffer.
Kris, just circling back to Mark Stewart on the penalty kill. Obviously, had an awesome run during the playoffs a year ago. But it cratered this year. It wasn't great during the regular season, though it got better as the season went on, but it was middle of the pack. And then it was, you know, let's face it was 14th in the playoffs at 67%. Mark's coming back in that role on top of taking on the defense. Is there any thought process, even though you got the same coach, to maybe changing up some of the conceptual things you do? And maybe is it something that needs to be done throughout the organization? How much integration is going to take place in that regard? Obviously, you're going to oversee it. So that's my first question, just on the penalty kill.
Yes. And we had conversations throughout the year about changing up the penalty kill and what we could do differently. And, you know, what was really difficult to make the change was, one, obviously seeing the power or the success that we had 2 years ago in the playoffs, how well that went. You know, probably the strongest part of our game going to the Stanley Cup Finals first year was the penalty kill and how good it was for us. And also during the regular season, there was long stretches of time where maybe it wasn't elite, we're top 3 in the league, but there was probably months where it was probably top 5, definitely top 10, where we went months where it was in that. So it was like, all right, it's not premier level, but it was still pretty darn good for long stretches of time. But then other times it would just absolutely collapsed. And I would say during the playoffs, it was underperforming. So, so this conversation about changing things up has been ongoing for many, many months, and there will be changes to our system. We will be doing things a little bit differently. And there's some things that we can do, you know, obviously if we see what other teams are doing, and we'll, you know, exactly what we want. We've got a pretty good idea, but there's a lot of, you know, conversations, a lot of analyzing what other teams are doing, and then having those conversations within the coaching staff and moving forward. So I know Mark Stewart has started that process. You know, obviously he's very familiar with what other teams have done already, but also finding out what type of team we'd have, what penalty killers we'd have going into the next season, and then deciding exactly what that system would be.
All right, question 2.
That was a little bit of Kris Knoblauch as he met with the media today after their 3 new hires. Mark Stewart will take over the defense now for Paul Coffey. He'll always continue to work with the PK. And it's interesting because the PK 2 years ago in the playoffs was outstanding, like one of the best. They didn't give up a goal until the finals. Last year, it was up and down, mostly down. Now, some of that change had to do with personnel, obviously, right? The others moved some players along. Others didn't work as well. So I'm intrigued. Looks like they're going to change their PK system. McFarland On top of many other duties, like Knob said there, he'll control the power play. And on the Oilers, they're talking about it. You need to see some different looks, of course. But, I mean, the Oilers' power play has been historically good for many, many years. I know sometimes I'll include myself in that, we get frustrated with McDavid just circling and looking for Draisaitl's backdoor one-timer. Bouchard, I think, needs to be more involved in using that shot that he has. I don't know. Do you move away from Nuge? Go with one of the young guys? Highly unlikely, because Kris Knoblauch's not going to do that. He kind of alluded to it. If you listen to the whole, it's 22 minutes, I think. If you listen to the whole presser, he does say he likes Howard, loves his offensive, like to see him get some power play time, but that's probably on PP2. Okay? You're not going to move Nuge off for a guy coming into his rookie year. That's not what happens. So I expect the same 5 guys. You might see some rotation like you saw last year with Hyman, Perry, and whoever else went in front of the net, but they definitely need some new fresh looks, the new fresh eyes on it. So that's going to be great. We'll see. We'll see what Mr. McFarland can do. And of course, skills coach takes over for Pelche, and that is Conor Allen and Peter Aubry will be the Oilers' new goaltending coach. A position that only in Edmonton it gets an enormous spotlight. So we'll see. I'm intrigued to chat with him tomorrow because I want to, what's that process like, right? You come in, you meet a veteran goalie in Pickard and a guy that's only 25 entering his 4th year in the NHL in Skinner, and they have a process and they have a way of doing things. I'm intrigued to see how those conversations go. What they decide on and what can help their game and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, I wanted to save it because Gager's the goalie and I wanted him to be here for that. So it should be a fun conversation with the newest goaltending coach for the Edmonton Oilers. That's at 1:20 tomorrow. X-Ray J, you better tune in, buddy. This one's for you. So that's pretty much it for the Oilers. Like you said, he wants to see Ike Howard get some power play time, probably power play too. Matt Savoy said he liked what he did in Baco in terms of penalty kill, but I can see Savoy getting power play 2 time as well. But interesting that he's going to PK. We'll see what Mangiapane's role is going to be in all this, and we move forward. We're getting towards the midway point of July, August. Probably going to be quiet on the Oiler front. I'm just guessing here. And then into September, you might see a few late additions, maybe some AHL guys, maybe a PTO. Who knows? But at the end of the day, that's kind of where we're at here. It's a slow week for sure with the Elks off on the bye week. And it's the MLB All-Star break. Home Run Derby goes tonight. The All-Star game goes tomorrow. I used to be so into the Home Run Derby. I'd watch everything. Now it's like, just give me the highlights, man. It's too long. It's just, I don't know. Are you still into it? Are you going to sit down and watch that tonight? Or are you going to be like good old Hernan and maybe just PVR and fast forward through all the in-between stuff and just want to see the final? Or are you going to sit down with a bevy on this Monday and enjoy the Home Run Derby? Let us know. River Korean Box 780-218-9999 or hit us up on the good old nasty chat. Slam that thumbs up as well for us. Coob, I have a confession. Well, I'm a little happy and I'm a little sad. So yesterday, the NASCAR race, I couldn't watch it live, right? Because I was doing some stuff, and then the Elks game was going to. So I recorded it, and I watched the race, and I stayed off any socials that were going to give me any spoilers. And then I watched the race after the Elks game, and I'm telling you, Coop, I'm really enjoying NASCAR. Like, I am all in on this. To record it and watch it later at night, a 3-hour race. It's just, there's so much action, so much that goes into it. Personalities are great. And this is all just kind of like Drive to Strive because of the Netflix show, Full Speed. I think it's called Full Speed. That gives you the last 2 seasons in NASCAR. One day I was bored. I was like, I'm going to watch this, give it one episode. I ended up watching it all in one night. It is fantastic. NASCAR is great. SVG won again. It was like his 3rd straight road race from pole. And this guy is legit because usually oval racing in NASCAR, but the road courses, some guys struggle with it. This guy is an amazing driver when it comes to that. He's won the last 3. He's outstanding. But Coop, my point is, So I'm into NASCAR. I'm really enjoying it. But none of my family and friends are into it. No one here at EST headquarters is into it. I have no one to talk to about NASCAR.
I feel the same with UFC, buddy.
No, but at least some people will indulge. Like some people know.
Yeah, NASCAR is so niche, though. You know what I mean? Like when you think racing, you think F1. That's about it.
Yeah.
Like there is IndyCar as well, which is great, but NASCAR is
IndyCar is probably
far off.
I'll say right now, F1's probably third for me in terms of excitement.
Really?
In terms of excitement.
Okay, I guess you've
like
been
the race.
into it. Yeah.
Because I recorded the Indy race and I still don't know who won. I'm watching that tonight, but it's just I want to talk so much NASCAR, but no one wants to hear it. Anyone out there? Anyone? No one wants to start watching NASCAR to chat with good old Hernan here? Oh, it sucks. I guess I'll just talk to myself.
Gager isn't even into it.
No, Gager.
Really?
Gager has no time for my NASCAR talk. Every time I bring it up, he's just like,
yeah, okay, yeah.
And I'm into Indy. Indy's great too.
I don't even think I can name one NASCAR driver.
Really?
Yeah. An active one. I don't know. I know Kyle Busch.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. Just because of the last name, baby.
Last name, baby. Oh, man. I just want to talk NASCAR with somebody.
With Tim Harani being in NASCAR.
No, remember we asked him, he's like, I don't follow. He goes, because it's so different, right? Because Tim Harani was IndyCar, right?
Yeah.
He was an IndyCar driver.
Ah, shoot.
Yeah, so he's more into that. It's more
Gotta
similar
get a
to
NASCAR
F1.
insider.
Oh, man. You know what? I thought about it today, but I don't think I'm ready yet because I'm very new to the sport. I'm still learning a lot of stuff. But it's entertaining, man. It's a lot of chaos, but it's long too. It's like 3-4 hours to get a race done, right? A lot of caution.
It's that long?
Yeah, man.
Okay, I'm sorry, Hernan. I don't think I will ever watch NASCAR.
Double A says, I tried to get into NASCAR. I kept falling asleep during race. But that's a great thing because if you're watching stage 2, yeah, you can doze off for 10, 15 minutes. There's no problemo. Van Owen, unpopular opinion, NASCAR is essentially the wrestling of motorsports. Well, I like it. They like fighting each other too. The pit crews were going at it yesterday. But yeah, and it doesn't seem by our nasty chat or inbox that anyone wants to get into NASCAR to talk with Hernan about it. That sucks. I got to find someone that's into NASCAR. Coob's out. Gager's out.
I'm out.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, the afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Let me get my liner here. Be sure to check out the Tap 25 restaurant where you can get the prime rib special for just $18.99. It's available 7 days a week from 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Coming up next, heading back to the CFL. What do you think of the Oilers' new hires? What do you think of the Elks? Should they move to Cody Fajardo? We want to hear all that. NAS Chat, River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. And does anyone want to get into NASCAR so Hernan can have someone to talk to about it? That's all coming up. EST Afternoons. Here's our guy, Coop, Sports Update.
The Oilers shake things up by adding Paul McFarland, Peter Aubry, and Conor Allen to their coaching staff. Paul Coffey being shifted back from the advisor role, getting taken off the bench. Aubry taking over as a goaltending coach with Dustin Schwartz being let go. And Allen steps in to become the skills coach. McFarland becomes the assistant. And out east, the Islanders have signed this year's 16th overall pick and Victor Eklund to his entry-level deal. For the Jets, they've signed Morgan Barron to a 2-year deal worth a total of nearly $4 million, avoiding arbitration. And on the court, San Antonio's Victor Wembanyama has been cleared to return to action, recovering from a blood clot issue that limited him to just 46 games last season. And even with the shortened season, the 21-year-old led the league in blocks. NBA Summer League action sees Miami and Boston tip off. Phoenix and Sacramento going toe-to-toe, while the Mavs and Hornets go at it. Atlanta and Houston kick things off at 2:30. Elsewhere, longtime Jays pitcher Jim Clancy has passed away. Clancy spending 12 of his 15 major league seasons with the Jays, being an all-star in 1982. Clancy was 69 years old. This sports update is brought to you by Capital Care. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, whether it's a one-time donation or monthly contribution. Every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. On the other side of the break, Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press checks in with Hernan Salas. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Now the head coach of the Colorado Eagles. It is Mark Letestu checking in.
For me, Todd was the best coach I had at explaining why. I thought that was pretty powerful. Paul Maurice was probably the best coach I've ever been in the room with, delivering a message in the fewest amount of words. I heard from a coach one time that the best coaches are usually the best thieves, taking ideas, making them your own, and selling it.
The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
River Creek Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue, July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
.26. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk, live from the William Huff Studios. Uncle Dave says, no, Dustin with the Y. Not every race is that long. No, I know, but I just got into this like maybe a month and a half ago, and every race has been pretty damn long. No, there's been yesterday, actually, there wasn't a lot of cautions, which made it go by a lot quicker. So, but I've seen some long ones, brah. Long ones. Uncle Dave says, Hernan, I know your pain. I love cricket, but no one here has a clue about the game. By the way, it's a great sport. So yeah, Dave. Cricket's tough. Yeah, I don't understand cricket. I like it though when the guy throws the ball at full speed like that, running.
Yeah, they play cricket down at Victoria Park.
Yeah,
I've seen that before, and you hear it just clank off that thing, man.
I see it in Millwoods too. At
really?
There's Millwoods Park.
There's
always some good games going on. It's interesting sport for sure. So Uncle Dave's looking for a cricket buddy. I'm looking for a NASCAR buddy. Are we ready with that? All right, as we're going to talk some CFL here with our good buddy from the Canadian Press, Dan Ralph, as he joins us now. Dan, how you doing today? Okay, he's going to get him back on the good old phone there. Let's see. This one says, Rusty Shackleford, did you watch Earnhardt doc on Amazon Prime? I sure did. That was pretty good, man. Well, it's pretty sad too, but yeah, that's a really good documentary. I don't even think you have to be a NASCAR or auto racing fan to watch that one. It's just a fascinating story, just the way he was, his son, and it's just great. I really, really enjoyed that one. Can't wait. And because NASCAR has like this playoff system, and it's pretty cool, man. An in-season tournament where all the top dogs were out in the first race because there's a big pileup after a crash there. So, yeah. Haji, I love watching golf, not only for the impressive golf shots, but also the best snaps ever. Hell yeah, golf, baseball, sometimes NASCAR. We're into that kind of thing. Are we still working on him, Coop? Okay. So we're just waiting on Dan Ralph here. So, yeah, we're looking for bodies. Let's see here. Rip City Step. Dustin with a Y? Yeah, that's the text I got, boys. Boys and girls. He says he also went to a few Daytona 500s. That would be amazing. Dustin in a Y. Dustin with a Y. Did we just become best friends? You know what's good about having an Assy as a NASCAR fan, that I can now go to him for more knowledge, stuff I can't figure out. I got your phone number, Dustin with a Y. I'll be texting you when I don't understand some things. As I think we're good now with Dan. Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press to talk CFL. Dan, do we have you? Hello? It seems like we're having issues here with the good old phone. So we're going to continue to work on that. In the meantime, we'll just go through some messages here. Slam that thumbs up for us. As here, it's a slow week. It's baseball's off for a few. Elks are off. It's interesting though. I do like that this bye week came now after that loss yesterday. I think it's a good time to regroup. And we'll see if we got Dan now. Dan, can you hear me? No. Bronco Nick. The Elks must be running the lines. Ooh. Let's see here. I had a good one here. Norman Combine. Good thing Astros just lost 5 out of the last 6. Brutal. Well, Norm, you cheer for cheaters. Cornelius must have had some dirt on management because they kept him around for years and he was terrible. We wasted a few seasons on that guy from Taco. I wonder where Cornelius is now. I don't even think he's playing anymore. After he was not brought back last season. I mean, the guy had all the tools, man. He was a lot of people were high on Taylor Cornelius. Lots of people. So, can you sprinkle on the home run derby? I'm not a big time bettor. Big, can you sprinkle a little bit of a moolah on the home run derby? Who should I take? Let's see here. How can Ed Hervey and Jason Tucker not have a wide receiver in their image on the roster? I mean, I think the receiving core is good. Not great. Listen, like we were talking with Reid earlier, there's lots that needs to be fixed with this team right now. And I know in the CFL we always say it's, teams can go from being last to a Grey Cup game the following year. Sure, but I think lately it's going to take a little bit longer. I mean, people are going to say, Hernan, look at Calgary. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know if Calgary was for real early on. They are now. Like, man, they went into Regina and smacked them around. That's a good team, man. They got some good coaches. I think any team with Huff around is always going to be, and I know it's limited what he's involved in, but Big Uke says, I believe you can. And to bet against the big dumper right now seems wrong. That's the guy with the big butt. I'll be honest, man. I'm a highlights guy now, man. I can't sit there through a home run derby, man. Just cannot. Okay, we're still working on Mr. Dan Ralph, so that's really good work there by Coob. Really appreciate it. EST should have a toll-free number for victims of like a support group. Oh boy. So if we look at this week in the CFL, Toronto Argos at Montreal. Chad Kelly's still not ready there, but it sounds like Alexander Davis is. So I'd probably take Montreal on that one. Then you got Calgary and Winnipeg. I mean, it'd be pretty damn impressive if Calgary went in there and won. It's hard to win in Winnipeg. I'd probably roll with the Bombers. And we're going to try now Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press. Dan, do we have you?
I'm here. How about you guys?
Yes, this is perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for your patience as we work through some issues with our phone line.
That's okay. Technology is great when it works.
It is. Dan, I got to meet you while my time with the Elks. Great meeting you in person when we went out east. But how about we start out east and the Hamilton Tiger Cats coming off a 23-20 win over the Ottawa Red Blacks. But got to talk about, I know last week I had a few CFL guests on. I kept asking them, who's the best receiver in the CFL? And I think most of them said when he's on, it's Kenny Lawler with another spectacular catch against Ottawa. There's something brewing there between him and Bo Levi after a slow start, eh?
Yeah, there really is. And, I don't think you're going to get an argument out of me about who the best receiver is. This guy, he either gets 207 yards and 3 touchdowns, or he comes up with the game-winning touchdown when they need it. And there is something between him and Bo. But you know what? Right now, I think I'm looking at Bo's going with the hot hand. I mean, he knows if he puts the ball in the stratosphere, that Kenny's coming down with it. And the thing is, he's got 3 other guys there that are commanding attention too. So if you do what Toronto did, and that's just put single coverage on Kenny, then you're asking for trouble. Mm-hmm. But if you do what Ottawa did and tried to double him up, there are other guys there. And but ultimately, when the chips are down, I think you and I both know where Bo's going to go, and who can blame him?
Yeah, no doubt. It's been excellent to watch. I know the Elks get him in I think 3 weeks' time here. Let's go to Edmonton, where we're at. And yesterday, I mean, that game was you couldn't really take any positives from it. The Elks have had many bad games in the last 4 years, Dan, but that one, when you look at the stats, is just mind-boggling how bad they were. What do you take away from that game yesterday, Dan, on the Elks' point of view?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You know what? I know what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't rush and make a quarterback change just yet. I would leave the young guy in there. I just think he can do so many things for you. And even though he didn't have a great game, obviously, but he did have a long run. He shows you athleticism. He shows you flashes. And I'm not sure after you make the commitment to him that you made in December, that 6 games in, which is a third, that you're ready to jump ship on him just yet. I don't think so. I think you stay the course, but we're getting close because you really don't want. I mean, you've already got some separation in the West already, and by Labor Day, you don't want to be 6, 8, 10 points out and have to make a mad dash down the stretch. I would keep him. I would keep Tre under center this week. I would stick with them, but I think if we're getting close, that you may have to make a change if things don't change quickly.
Yeah, and Dan, I guess who's to say that? Because I know everybody's got a different opinion here. Some are saying stick with Tre, and just to give some fans a glimmer of hope, he's been really good in Regina in his last 2 outings. So there is that, but if they do move away from him, it doesn't mean you can't go back to Tre Ford, right? Like, he's on a 3-year deal. He's the guy Ed Hervey wants as his starter. We knew there was going to be ups and downs still in his development, but Do you see it that way where, like, if they go to Cody and in 2-3 games it's not working, you can still go back to Tre Ford? It shouldn't affect him that bad.
Yeah, I would hope not. I would hope not. But he's a young kid. He's a young guy. I mean, he's in his 4th year. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he's a young guy in terms of being the starter, right? And I think you have to be very, very careful about potentially damaging that psyche. I'm not saying that Tre is not strong-minded. He is. Mm-hmm. He's a professional quarterback. But you know what? You're not wrong. Maybe it's not a bad thing to have him sit back for a bit and watch. And then, and because Cody's been there, done that, he's got the T-shirt type thing, right? And he brings a different. He does bring a different element too. He would bring a different element, so maybe it wouldn't be a bad thing. I would stick with Tre for now, but for now is a very, very short leash, sadly, because you can't afford to fall any further behind. And as you said, you can't afford to play 2 clunkers like that back to back.
Yeah.
So.
Dan, on the flip side, this defense, I mean, they won the offseason and who Ed brought in. You know, they brought in most Toronto's D-line. They added Tre Ford, Colby Williams, Royce Metier to their secondary. They got 2 stud linebackers. We're baffled here on how bad this defense has been, after week 6.
I'll if you look behind you, I'm in that line with you. Because I've been saying the other thing. Here in Toronto, the reason why Toronto's defense has been what's a nice word that I'm trying to put, inconsistent, is because that they've lost 7 starters from that unit, and a lot of them are out west. I can't put my finger on it. I mean, I know Jake left under very trying circumstances, and boy, oh boy, he played so well here last year. But those guys that you got, they're all veterans. They've won. I can't put my finger on it. I really wish I could. The offense, I could maybe point to the fact that last night you gave up on the run way too quick for my liking. But on defense, I'm not sure what I could put my finger on, to be honest. There's something not there. There's maybe it takes a while to mesh, but you would think with veterans that would happen quicker and sooner than later. I'm perplexed as you are, and I wish I had an answer for you, because I would bottle it and I would sell it.
Yeah, it's they gotta find a way here, Dan, to get some wins here. I think for the fan base, most excuses are out the window. They get a bye week to kind of reset, and there might be some lineup changes due to the 3 injuries on defense yesterday, but we'll wait and see on that. Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press joining us here on EST Afternoons. Dan, Calgary Stampeders, early on in the season after their first 2 wins, I wasn't sold. I am now. That team looks really good. The defense is flying around. Vernon Adams is making the plays. What's your take on the Calgary Stampeders here as we head into week 7?
Yeah, I'm becoming more and more of a convert. They'll turn me over completely this week if they can do it. I think they've done well. I think I do weekly picks, and I've picked against them the last 2 weeks, thinking, and so what? Pick them this week, and then they'll lay an egg. But it's the thing is, Hernan, it's way too early for me to even get excited or concerned about teams yet. I like what I'm seeing out of Calgary. Vernon, he does something, he'll throw a pick, and then he'll tap his chest and say it's on me, and then he has great resiliency this year, and they can't whatever happens to them, they don't get too high, they don't get too low, and they just go and they just react to the situation, right? And I'm really impressed with their offense, particularly impressed with their defense.
Yeah,
and I'm glad to see them doing well, because we're used to seeing them in the mix of it in the West, and it's only 6 games, and we're only a third of the way through.
Yeah,
but I just think that they believe, and they've got a belief right now that the best things are coming, and who knows how much better they become offensively when Reggie Biggleton comes back, and there's talk he might be coming back sooner than later. And so, but you know what? They've been pretty good. They've been, pretty resilient without him. So I'm thinking I wouldn't rush him back if I don't have to.
Yeah, I know for sure. Dan, what did you make of the smokeout game on Friday? They pushed it to 10:45, and then listen, I know the league's taking a lot of heat for what went down that night. Did you see it that they had to push the game to the following day due to the smoke in the air and the CFL pushing it back as much as they could, but eventually calling the game?
Well, I have no problem with anything to do with player safety. You're not going to get an argument out of me. The thing I'm most happiest to see is that the league and the PA were both involved in this decision. Okay. Too often, we've heard in the past rumblings from the PA that the league has done things without them being considered and has done things unilaterally. I know for a fact in this situation, both were involved in the process, both were involved in multiple calls, and both made the joint decision to have the game postponed to the day after. And that to me is a big step forward. I have no problem with the game being rescheduled. Yeah. I have no problem with, because, and as it turned out, it seemed like it was the thing to do, because the next day the air was a lot clearer and they were able to play the game without incident and get through it. My concern was they would start the game at 4:00 and at 4:05, there would be smoke in the air, but it was the right decision. I have no qualms about that. I have no qualms about them playing the game the day after. It's unfortunate it was in Regina, in that it's not the best place to try and get a hotel right now. Yeah, exactly. And so the Stamps, they needed some assistance. I believe they had to put a bunch of players at the U of R dorm, which is not ideal. But you know what? They got the game played. It was the right decision, and I have no qualms with the way with the decision or the way it was handled.
Yeah, Dan, I'll say it earlier, because some people, very few, were saying that the CFL's Bush League, how can the players not have hotels? Like, I was with the Elks for 3 years, and we had a situation where we might have to stay overnight again. It's not easy. Like, everything's booked up. It's the summer. So I give credit to the Stamps and the Riders for all working together and figuring it out. So it's never an easy situation. So
kudos. I mean, you're talking about 45 players. You're talking about 20 coaches. You're talking how many support staff? Yeah, so you're pushing 100 people, and you got to find a place not to mention you got to cancel flights and go out the next day. It was a logistical nightmare, and I'm with you. I give credit where credit's due, that they made the best of a bad situation. They got the game played, and I think that was the right decision.
And picking up the win doesn't hurt for Calgary, that's for sure. Made it all worth it, Dan. Hey, Dan, thank you for taking the time to join us. Always great chatting with you. We got 4 great games this week, and I'm sure we'll have you on again.
I look forward to it. Best of luck, and thank you so much. My pleasure.
All right, that's Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press, our good buddy. He's been joining us since the 1260 days. Does a great job. Got to meet him. I think it was in Hamilton last year. Got to meet him. He was doing media outside the room, so it was great to finally meet him in person. Hey, the Afternoon Inbox presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out the Kitchen Restaurant Sundays and Mondays, 50% off the entire menu from 5 p.m. till close. Check it out today. Today is Monday. All right, up next, running a little late here, but we'll close out the show. Get you ready for the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. They got a wicked lineup, and they'll take you home right up until 6. We're back after the break. Here's Scoop.
The Oilers make some changes to their coaching staff, letting go Dustin Schwartz while shifting Paul Coffey to an advisory role under ownership and hockey operations. 3 new coaches were brought in as well. Paul McFarland as an assistant, Conor Allen as a skills coach, while Peter Aubry joins the squad to focus on goaltending. And 4, the Islanders, they've inked Victor Eklund to his entry-level contract, Eklund being selected 16th overall in this year's NHL draft. And according to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, Garrett Wilson and the Jets have agreed to a 4-year, $130 million deal, making him one of the highest-paid wide receivers in the league. On the court, San Antonio's Victor Wembanyama has been cleared to return to action, recovering from a blood clot issue that limited him to just 46 games last season. Even with the shortened season, the 21-year-old led the league in blocks. In baseball, Jim Clancy has passed away after finishing second in franchise starts, innings pitched, and complete games for the Jays. Clancy was 69 years old. The final segment of EST Afternoons brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Avocado and feta dip, passion fruit cheesecake, and cocktails that taste like summer in a glass. Try the new feature menu at The Banquet. Refreshing, craveable, and made for sunny days. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Summer in Edmonton means three things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
River Creek Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue, July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
.250. Final segment here on EST Afternoons, where me and Cooper are doing some detective work. Might be onto something here with our co-host Gager and the new Oilers goalie coach, but we won't spoil it just yet. So Rusty and Dustin with the Y have told me that they will be my NASCAR insiders. Cool. But do you guys want to chat? Text you and be like, yo, what a race. I kid. Even though I do have their phone numbers, right, Coop? You're screwed now. So, to wrap up the show, I mean, Elks coming off a very disappointing loss. What do they do? We'll see. Back in Regina on the 25th of this month. Hopefully there's no smoke. That was crazy. Friday I kept going on Twitter. I'm like, game hasn't started yet. That was absolutely crazy. Crazy stuff. Oilers hire 3 new coaches. Paul McFarland take over the power play. New goalie coach Peter Aubry. Reminder, he'll be on EST Afternoons tomorrow at 1:20. And Conor Allen, skills coach. Out, Paul Coffey, but he will be returning to his role as special advisor to ownership and hockey operations. And Dustin Schwartz is gone. He gone. This day in sports history, 1981. The All-Star game was postponed because of a 33-day-old baseball player strike. The game was later held on August 9th. 30 years ago today, the St. Louis Blues signed Grant Fuhr. Crazy. Today's National Mac and Cheese Day. So if you're thinking about dinner, how about some mac and cheese? It's also National Grand Marnier Day. Have you ever had a Grand Marnier on the rocks? Oh, The best drinks. I haven't had one in a long, long time because I like old fashions now, but Grand Marnier Day. Just put a little bit to a nice little glass, put some ice. Oh, you won't regret it. You'll be thanking Hernan. On this day in 1989, when Harry Met Sally was released in theaters. Good movie, Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan. The scene that everybody talks about that movie. And then yesterday, I had to say, this was yesterday, obviously we weren't here yesterday, but Ghost opened in theaters 35 years ago yesterday, and Milli Vanilli released Blame It on the Rain 36 years ago on July 13th. One of their best songs. I know you're going to say, well, don't say one of their best. It wasn't them, but you know what I mean. Whoever sang that was awesome. I love Milli Vanilli. They had good tunes. Really, really good tunes. Really appreciate you guys sticking it out with me today. The road solo. Gager had something come up, so he couldn't make it, but he will return tomorrow. And I'm sure he's going to be bringing the fire. Reid Wilkins coming up with Jay Milne. They got a loaded show. They'll take you right up until 6. I want to sign off, but my producer is not in the room right now. So I'll just keep talking. Spency 5 cents, he says, mac and cheese with Grand Marnier and a Dumouriez. No, don't do that. Do it separately. Like a Grand Marnier is more for like a late night, a nightcap. And yeah, so he's back. I can sign off. No, I know. Just jokes, Coop. Big Uke, well job, Hernan. Thank you, buddy. Hey, we got the Nasty Bash coming up soon, eh? Gonna be another crazy one. All right, it's time to get out. Big shout out to Reid Wilkins for joining me. Talk Elks. Dan Ralph from the Canadian Press to go around the CFL. Coop for being a wicked producer. We're back tomorrow. Elks lose on Sunday to the Lions. Oilers hire 3 new coaches. Those are the top stories of the day. We'll talk tomorrow. Love you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Chowders!